Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Stagefront Stadium, home of Rcd Espanyol de Barcelona. It's a pleasure for us to receive you today here in our home. Today will be also your home. Debo deciros que como español estamos muy orgullosos, como Real Club Deportivo Español estamos muy orgullosos de poder recibir hoy vuestra asociación, Patient73, Patient73. Pensamos que como club, un club de fútbol como el Español, tenemos la responsabilidad y el placer muchas veces de poder aportar nuestro grano de arena a causas interesantes como la que estáis desarrollando vosotros. Pensamos que es muy importante la labor que estáis haciendo, el hecho de tener una entidad colaborativa como la vuestra, una entidad que está intentando llegar al máximo posible de países y una entidad que está intentando hacer una labor que no es sencilla. Pensamos que como club debemos daros este apoyo y en el día de hoy nuestro apoyo es abriros las puertas de nuestra casa para que también sea vuestra casa. Esperamos que en el futuro tengamos muchas más ocasiones de poder hacer alguna actividad conjunta, de poder aportar también nuestro esfuerzo, porque al final con el esfuerzo de todos se puede tirar adelante todo este proyecto. Y a partir de aquí, nuestro rol como club en una jornada como la de hoy es aprender de todo lo que habéis puesto en marcha, aprender de todo lo que en el futuro estoy seguro también pondréis en marcha y sobre todo daros las gracias y nuestro aplauso, en este caso virtual, también para los que nos estáis siguiendo desde la distancia, a una labor tan interesante y tan importante como la que estáis haciendo. John, todo tuyo.
Thanks very much, Tony. Thank you, everybody. It's great to have the opportunity to be here and talk to you about Patient73, about rare diseases and what we're trying to do to help patients with rare diseases and their families and friends. Many thanks to the Espanyol Football Club for having us here and for backing us up on this Game Jam adventure. I think it's going to be an excellent edition this year. My name is John Ward, and I work at a company called IQVIA. We work in the healthcare and data industry, providing services to pharmaceutical companies. And we do a lot of clinical trials, and many in rare diseases. That's where my particular interest comes from. IQVIA is a patron of the Patient73 Foundation, and very proud to be so. We're providing support in many ways. Having a global reach as a company allows us to help the patient platform reach a world stage. So we're very happy to be there and be part of this. I've been involved with Francesc, who is the person who created the platform. He's the president of the FECAM, the Catalan Institute for the Catalan Federation for Rare Diseases. We've been working together since 2019. But before we look at the platform, I'd just like to run over, for anybody that might not be familiar, what a rare disease is and what are the problems associated with the rare diseases. So one of the big problems with rare disease is that it affects a small group of people. Each disease affects a small group of people, and about 80% of them have a genetic origin. That might sound terrible, but with the advances we're making in genetic manipulation, it's actually going to be an advantage for us in the near future. They're highly complex and multidisciplinary because they don't just affect one part of the body. They can cause a lot of problems for the patient and for the people that are caring for them. Research in rare disease is limited still because there are so few people affected by the disease that many people don't see the value in it, but we do. We have to bring all of those people together to make a large crowd so that rare diseases are represented and given the solutions that they need. What else would I say? It's a cross-border problem. There are no frontiers for rare diseases. Anybody can affect it anywhere in the world. And in order to give those people a voice, we need to bring the whole world together on this platform. Some of the problems, rare diseases are defined in different ways in different countries. They're given different definitions, so it's often hard to arrive at an agreement with different working groups. The prevalence of rare diseases differs from country to country as well. Small number of persons have the rare diseases and a limited number of disease experts. The doctors don't meet enough patients with these diseases to have experience, so it's very difficult for them to deal with it the first time they have a patient in who has a rare disease. Information. We need information. When you have so few people suffering from a disease, there's very little information about that disease. And we need to bring all of that information from all over the world together in one place so that we have all of the available information and can look for a solution to that problem. There's also a lack of investigation in rare diseases. It's increased in the last few years quite a lot, but we still need more investigation. We need to give value to the investigation that is being done in rare diseases. Sorry. So we're here to talk about the GameJam, but before we do that, the GameJam is a spin-off from the Patient73 Hub. It's one of the events that we're running to try and provide support for the Patient73 Hub and for the patients that are on that hub. What's the idea behind the Patient73 Hub? It's a place where we bring all of the players in the rare disease environment together, all of the players in that ecosystem, all of the people that are affected or trying to help those affected by rare diseases. We want to bring them all together so that we can find those solutions. We're running a number of different events around the platform to try and raise awareness and raise funds for the work that we're doing with the platform. And one of those is the GameJam. But apart from that, we have a thing called a Minority Fest, which is a cinema event all around rare diseases. We have photographic exhibitions that are traveling around Europe and hopefully around the world soon. We'll be having a gymkhana and we'll be having congresses. And finally, we'll be having our GameJam for 2024. The 2023 edition was a great success, and one of the big objectives for the 2024 is that we involve players who are using AI so that the complexity and the beauty of the games, the elegance of the games, is raised to a new level. Back in 2019, myself and Francesc introduced the platform for the first time on a world stage at the World Orphan Drug Conference. And we had a very good response from that event, with a lot of interest being shown, not just by patient associations, but also by pharma. And we've been working on that interest since then. Why is it so difficult to get the information together? Why is it so difficult for each one of the players in the ecosystem to work together? Because there are many, and they're all over, in regional terms and geographical terms, and in interests as well. We've got our patients and we've got our caregivers, but we've also got the pharmaceutical companies who are providing those solutions for the patients. They're going to be providing the medicines and other procedures that will help patients to improve their lives. We've got the hospitals and the researchers. We've got the associations. And, as I said, the users who will be involved. The point about the platform is that it's a collaborative effort. Everybody is involved and everybody can contribute to the platform. We want the information from the patients because that first-hand information about their disease natural history is essential to the investigators, because if they don't understand the disease and how it progresses, they can't help us to cure that disease. The platform has an incredible number of facets. Francesc is an IT specialist, and he's created a platform with, I think now we're at 20 different AI engines that help to work this platform. Each of the different, this is the menu from one of the pages on the platform. We have an interactive map where you can find your disease, where clinical trials are being run. You can find where patients are. Patients can get together, finding each other through the map. We have a clinical trials section where patients can find a trial for their particular disease. There are any number of facets to this platform, but today we're going to talk about the GameJam, which is hopefully going to give a lot of publicity to the platform and the plight of rare diseases. This is our GameJam for 2024, and I'm going to hand over to Bruno, who's going to explain a little bit about the GameJam itself, and, Mikel. Mikel will give us a brief look at rare diseases before we go on with the GameJam presentation. Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank to FACAM for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to participate in this event, and second to the Real Club Deportivo Espanyol for giving the support to this initiative, this wonderful initiative, the Jam Patient73. It's hard to say anything more about after the message you said, because I think we have very similar ideas about what is the take-home message for today. I will try to avoid repetition, so I will just focus on my field of expertise. In this case, I'm working in clinical research to develop clinical therapeutic strategies to treat these diseases. There are thousands, more than 7,000. Before was saying more than 10,000. Well, the numbers there is a range between them, but there is a huge amount of rare diseases identified. The important point here is the genetic origin is more than 80% of genetic origin. That means that usual or regular treatments that are available today for other diseases are not working in this case, because when you have a genetic disease, you need to treat the mutations, you need to treat your gene, your genome, your cells. That's technically difficult, not impossible, because there are already several treatments that are in the market and in the hospitals. But it's not easy at all, and it needs a lot of effort and a lot of years of work to find, to identify the responsible mutation in each case, and then how to treat and how to cure. There are many millions of people, more than 400 million of people, that means affected with rare diseases. That means that 1 out of 17 individuals in the world have one of these diseases. Just only in this room, there will be more than 1 people by probabilities. And in fact, I can see some of the patients right now here in the room. Another important point from the social point of view is that 50% of these diseases appears in childhood, and that 30% of the patients, they don't reach the age of 5 years. So that's a hard number to say. The other hard number is that only 5% of these diseases have treatments. That means 95% or more than 95% of these rare diseases have no cure nowadays. Even so, because of the advances in research in the last years, there are more than 500 therapies that are in development right now, and in fact we are working in some of them, and most of them are based on genetic manipulation in advanced therapies, what is called advanced therapies. Sorry, I just came out from here. So in the next slide, I will present that just having in mind that the patient is in the center of everything for us, and there are 3 main focuses: the clinical assistant and the clinical research to treat these patients, but also the society. And one example of that is this event where the people make a community to develop tools to help in the day-to-day life in these patients. All of them are very important. With just 1 or 2 of them, there is not sufficient for these people, for these kids, for these patients to go through their life. Indeed, there is no question about the importance of the families and the patients' associations. They are just fighting. They are just trying to visualize all these diseases, make these kinds of events to show not only the importance of investigating this disease, but also to make other actions around them to facilitate, again, to incorporate these patients into the normal life in the society. From our side, from the clinical assistant and clinical research, there are many things that are being done, not only in diagnostics, because there's still some diseases that they are not diagnosed, the diagnostic is not done, well done. So there is a lot. But also the daily patient care. These patients usually need to go for physiotherapists every day or almost every day, special treatments in the schools where they go. But from the science, I would say that thanks to the last advancements in science, there are at least 4 or 5 diseases that are completely cured, but only 4 or 5, about 7,000 or 10,000. But we are in the good path. We know how to do it. Again, it's hard, it's long, we have the tools so far to work on that. What's the problem? Some of the problems that were said before. The society don't know very well what these diseases are. There is not a lot of funding because there are many diseases affecting few patients. It maybe is not very attractive for pharmaceutical companies or even for the governments or for other entities. But just thanks to the everyday fighting of the patients' associations and the families, is able to get some funds to develop or to work on that. Let me, about the society, let me recognize some of the foundations we are working with. Indeed, FACAM is part of them, but Lucha de Abril Foundation, Megrano de Arena Foundation, and Antian Foundation, some of the members are here. What we are collaborating with, this is fundamental for the researchers to have the families behind us. Also, and I would like to recognize the importance of this, the increasing interest of these treatments in the society, as we can see every year in the La Marató de TV3, the donations that the society is doing, but also La Caixa, the IFM, international societies, and so on. But also not only the help or the support from these societies, these foundations, but for example, the support that new players not players, but other players in the arena are giving. For example, this GameJam Patient73, which helps to these patients to evolve, to improve their knowledge properties, to memory, the task through the games. That will be e-sports. But as important as the e-sports, that would be the physical sports, and in this case, that would be crucial that entities like, for example, this one and other ones also provide the support to adapt the installations, to adapt the sports to this kind of patients, because it's very important for them, because the sports creates community that allows these patients to integrate with other people in the society. Very little else to say, just to thank you very much for your attention, and indeed to thanks to the families and the patients, I can see some of them here, for all what you are doing for every day and every day. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so for those who don't know me, I'm Bruno Moya, and I'll be here speaking as one of the members behind the Patient73 GameJam. And so for this task, I'll be giving some technical details that everyone might like to know, and also some tips that I have taken from my friend Abraham, who's also behind the team, but couldn't be here because he's a little bit sick. So we wish him the very best. So first of all, a game jam, it's a place where people from all over the world develop games to enter into the prize pool that you can see the prizes here on the screen. So what we did to make the game jam even better than the first edition of the game jam, we increased the time. The first game jam was a really great success. We were very happy with all the results we had. And that game jam was of 1 month of duration. This game jam is more or less 2 months. So that means that people have 2 months to develop their best games. But also, the important thing we need to speak here about the game jam, it's not only about competing with the people, competing with the different games to win the prize. It's about, maybe if you're alone, maybe if you're in a team, is to collaborate with everyone. So the final mission of the game jam, it's not to win the prize. Apart from that, it's moving the message forward that the organization, that FECAM or Patient73 Hub, or everyone here has been sharing all day long. One technical and important thing is that all the games that are published on the game jam must be done using Unity 3D, the game engine, or Godot, that is the open source alternative. And they must be done using WebGL. That means that the game should be playable on the browser. Because the final meaning of the game jam is that these games reach the right people, reach the right patients and the right families, as the ones we are seeing here right now. So they are able to play those games and have some little fun to escape a little bit from the reality. And so right now the world is changing very fast, and we saw one theme that was very important for these games, that was AI. AI is a technology that is taking right now all over the world. So we found out that AI was a really good theme for the Game Jam, because people can be really creative with the games they do, and putting the AI inside, they can be very inclusive for the people playing the games. And that is one of the main criteria that you can see on the screen we have in relation of the games we are getting on the Game Jam. So the main criteria that our jury will follow will be basically the relation of the game with the official theme, that it's AI, the innovation of the game, how innovative it is, as well as how fun the game is. And finally, and one of the most important pieces of the game, it's the inclusiveness or the quality of the interaction. That means if the game can be playable 100% correct by the patients. So last year we had a very great jury, but this year we are pumping up the jury and making it even better by putting more people, as for example as well Andrew Wong, that was the winner of the last year edition and first edition of the Patient73 GameJam, that if you haven't tried his game, I recommend you to do so. It's very interesting. Next, we also have Labitze from China. We have people from all over the world. For example, Ian Blanes, that is the dean of the School of Engineering, and also a teacher of mine at university. Andrew Wang, Praline Hudson from South Africa, that writes books for kids. Albert Ariza from the team at Espanyol, that we are very grateful for today and having us here. Jordi Duran, a bioengineer at UPC. And finally, we have Vasilis Triantafilou, a teacher from Abraham, our member at the team, that is also a computer scientist and also an expert in electronic democracy. Finally, some little tips that we share also on the first edition and we feel are important. Basically, the first thing, the things you need to do is to register on the itch.io. You can register as a team or as a single person. If you are a team, one member of the team only needs to register on the website. Then you can join the Discord community, that it's a place where everyone can speak and talk. And also the other thing, as we are eagering people to collaborate with each other, we are giving more points, or we are looking better the games that come from teams or people that have helped other teams evolve their games to a better version. So if someone is helping other teams, please send us an email and we'll have that in count from when the jury members are looking at the games. Finally, you need to explore different ideas. I'm an engineer myself, so I know all the time my brain is always thinking of a lot of ideas. So you need to think about these ideas and get the better ones. Scope down the list of ideas you have, polish the ones you feel are the best ones, and you have 2 months to develop them, so you have a lot of time to try, fail, and then arrive to the better version. So finally, these are the QR codes of the 2 different places you can enter. First is the itch.io website where you can register, and then the Discord where you can join all the community that we have created and started with the first edition of the Game Jam. Thank you very much. And so we have finished today's event. Everyone? Okay, so I believe with right now the words from Espanyol, we can give the start to the Game Jam, Patient73 GameJam of 2024. And we hope it will be a great Game Jam with a bigger exposure than the first one.
Thank you very much, Bruno. From Espanyol, I encourage everybody to join this Game Jam. I'm really sure that it will be very successful. I'm really sure also that today is the starting of a new age in Game Jam, and I'm also sure that in the next years we will remember today. Moltes gràcies per haver assistit tots en aquest event i espero que ens veiem aviat. Endavant.